Hi everyone, Deb here. I'm finally here with a few alternatives for the August Meaningful Flowers paper pumpkin kit. I did make one of each of the cards as intended. I like to do that just so I get a feel for what they were trying to do, and then I do something different. So I'm going to show you, I have three in each flower way, if you will. But I totally changed up the ones, and this one gave me the most difficulty. It's been crazy for in my life right now, just preparing for some stuff. And anyway, so here's the first one that I did. I'm going to try and remember because I actually made all of these about, well, nearly a week ago. Okay, I used garden green card base, and I used crushed curry and the deckled edge rectangles, and also the now retired, I think, greenery background die. Let's see if I have it right here. I don't think I do. I thought I left everything out, but I don't know. It's been a while. Anyway, that's what I used. They're all Stampin' Up. This was part of the envelope. There's actually a little line here, which you can barely see. And so I cut that also with the deckled rectangles. There's a little tiny bit of the top of the envelope gummy showing there. I might see if I can get that off with a eraser. Then I took one of the cut aparts and popped that up on dimensionals over here. And this, Your Friendship is Unforgettable, I think is from the stamps in the kit, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I really like these stamp sets. I really want to do more with the stamp sets because I love this floral, the Forget-Me-Nots, and let's see, Your Friendship is Unforgettable. Yes, it's right there. So that was from the kit. I stamped it in garden green. I think that's just a scrap of white cardstock. I think I went around the edges of that with garden green also, so it would pop against the crushed curry. And then this opens this way. Inside, this is one of the strips of the envelopes. Let's see, do I have one here that I could show you? You know, this part here on the inside, this, when you cut it, you have that thick strip. Well, that's what that is, only it worked out well on the inside of the card. So that's that one. And I did keep, nope, that's just a plain white envelope for that one. So I think I only cut up one of each envelope, if I'm not mistaken. Oops, so that's my first alternative. Then this one, I had one of the card fronts that was sort of bent up, and I remember I don't know if you remember, but I said, oh, I'm gonna have to cut that off because it's kind of bent up. I'm trying to find one. I have two of these. So this is this, but I had to cut this darker part right here off because these were all crinkled up. And so I did use that stamp of the Forget-Me-Nots, and this is a piece of white cardstock, and I just brushed it with crushed curry, but very lightly, and then I stamped off and stamped. I was making just a tone-on-tone background of the flowers in the background. So then I just glued this onto that. This is one of the Stampin' Up tag dies. I wish I had kept everything. Oh, here's that first one I was looking for. There's that one. It's called the Stitched Greenery. It's now retired. Here's the deckled rectangles, and they're coming out with deckled circles in the new catalog. And these are the tailor-made tags. I think they're still current, but don't hold me to that. So yeah, those are the three dies I used here and here. And so I brushed that around with Tahitian Tide because I put it on Tahitian Tide cardstock because that's closest to what these are. And then the jemmies on here are these 2022 to 2024 in color matte decorative dots in the Tahitian Tide. Some little ones and big ones. And this is the Tahitian Tide thin ribbon. I'm not going to pull it out until I can tell you exactly, but pretty sure it's still current in the annual catalog too. And then what I did is I took the back of the card, the actual cards, have this on the back, and I put it inside the top front there. And here I did the same with this. This was the back, the front of the, no it wasn't. Hang on, I'm getting confused. It looks like this part, but it isn't, because it's a different shade. See, I again took the crushed curry brush over it, and then I stamped this in garden green. I colored this in with the Stampin' Right, the old variety of Stampin' Right markers, because I don't have the new ones. In Tahitian Tide, crushed curry, and garden green, because I was afraid of it bleeding, and the flowers are little. So I think that looks alright for inside of a card on the opposite. And that was the stamp out of the set. And this is just a white envelope. I could just use the remaining envelopes in the kit. And then the last one is on garden green. This is part of the envelope. See this here? So I cut it because the envelope was already cut up, and I put it on a piece of crushed curry. And then this also was like this part down in here of the envelope, this green here, and then this is another. Now this might be part of the card. Yeah, I think this was part of a card base that I cut up. My trimmer is giving me issues. So, and then this again, this I stamped in Tahitian Tide. I did use all the rest of the twine or linen thread, whatever it's called, they gave us. And here I use different dots, but they're kind of similar in style. They're also matte decorative dots, but these were from August, December 2021. And I'm pretty sure that was crushed curry. It looks like it to me anyway, so I used them. And inside, this was another little piece of the envelope, I'm pretty sure. Flipped over probably, and then I glued it on a piece of crushed curry. I had these scraps, so I figured I'd use them. So that's a little different. So just, you know, think outside the box a little bit. And yeah, it's not my best card ever, but I like it. Sometimes simple is better. But I love this one, and I love this one. This is probably my favorite out of everything I did. All right, so that is what I did for the Forget-Me-Not alternatives. And then for the Lotus Flower alternatives, I vaguely remembered having seen in my scraps, and I have found it, this paper, which is called, it's retired long ago, Lily Impressions. And ignore this because I think it was 12 by 12, but someone on Etsy, someone's on Etsy and eBay are selling it for too much. Anyway, I went and looked because I wanted to check the colors, but I had all this paper. This was not in this bag, and these won't fit in that bag of scraps in my mixed scrap pile. So yay, because guess what? Pretty Peacock is in here, and let's see, Garden Green, which is some of the colors in the kit, and Melon Mambo was a color in the kit. I can't remember some of the other ones. Some of the Crushed Curry. So several of the colors in the kit were in this paper. So the one I liked the most was this sort of purpley color, because it really goes in. I know it isn't that color, but it really goes good with that Orchid Oasis. It is Gorgeous Grape and Blackberry Bliss and Highland Heather. Yeah. So I thought it went well with it, and this is the Melon Mambo. That's the reverse of this. So I just cut like a yeah, I think it's a 1 inch strip off, and then I flipped it and cut it to fit on here. I used a scallop circle die and cut out a big circle, and then I took one of the cut aparts from the kit and plopped it in the middle of that. Oh, and I textured that with the Tasteful Textile. Yeah, retired now, a while ago. This one, Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. I textured the Orchid Oasis circle. And then this is some of the matching ribbon. And inside, I just put another strip of that paper and stamped "You are capable of amazing things" in Orchid Oasis. I really like that. That's probably my favorite out of the lotus flower ones. And so then that's where I stopped about a week ago, and I wanted to do 3 alternatives for each kind of design, you know. So I got to thinking lily pads. Yesterday my daughter and my one granddaughter and I went to, there's a local farm. You can walk around and pet the animals, and there's a pond there and everything, and we saw a turtle on a, not on a lily pad, but on like a clump of moss or something. He was alive. He was just soaking the rays and enjoying himself. But I got to thinking, I wish I had a frog, because frogs, when I used to go fishing places, they had lily pads or lotus flowers, whatever. The frogs would hop from lily pad to lily pad. I know we used to have frog stamps at Stampin' Up, but I'm pretty sure I got rid of mine. So I don't have, and I looked in my other stamps and I couldn't find any little frogs. So I thought, well, I saw a turtle yesterday. Maybe I could find a turtle. Well, I did find a turtle, but it was a sea turtle. It was this one, and these are shown smaller than size. Now, I did not use the reverse part of it. This is a piece of the envelope from the, is this one of them? No. It's a piece of the envelope that is down in here. It's this side that goes dark to light, and I just stuck it on a piece of Pretty Peacock. And then this is actually the reverse of one of those Lily Impressions designer papers. It's like oil painted or whatever, but it's Pretty Peacock. So I just thought that made a nice background. And A Sea of Thanks, and I just stamped him in. I didn't do anything but stamp him once, going upwards, out like he's coming out of the water, kind of, in Pretty Peacock, because that's the color we got in the kit. But the sentiment came out of A Fish, a Wish, and A Sea of Thanks. Because I always need thank you cards. And yeah, so that's what I used. I used Sea Turtle and A Sea of Thanks. A Fish, a Wish. And then this is retired now too. Well, it might have been for a while. It was this Flowers for Every Occasion, Every Season ribbon combo pack. And that happens to be Misty Moonlight, Silver and White. And I thought that kind of went with it, because I think this is like Misty Moonlight color, and it needed a little something there. So I bumped the A Sea of Thanks up, but everything else is just glued down. And then I did use the kind of water droplet looking things, like to show bubbles coming out of the turtle and then show movement. Maybe I should have put it on the outside of his fins or whatever they're called. Inside's just blank. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. So that's the second one I did, just using a piece of the envelope. And then I couldn't not use more of the envelope and also more of the pretty paper I found. So Lily Impressions paper again. This is a little bit different one. This has more garden green and Pretty Peacock and stuff in it. And it's not the one I wanted to use. The one I wanted to use one that had a little bit smaller print on it, sort of like this did, but in these colors. But when I did that, the envelope portion that I wanted covered up the the flowers. So I used this piece instead. This is a piece of the envelope again. And I have a little bit of tape runner, I think. I'll get that off later. Anyway, and this is the, again, the outside of the envelope. I fussy cut it because I didn't want that shade of blue. That's more Tahitian tide, and these are more pretty peacock. So I fussy cut it and popped it up on a lily pad. And I used the double oval punch that's now, I think, retired. And I cut out a piece in Pretty Peacock. This is also a scrap of envelope, and I just stamped thanks. Now that is not Stampin' Up. That was out of those yellow stamps I showed you a while ago for something else. And it's just this little thanks down here from Honeybee Stamps. I've had these for several years. Yeah, they're 2016 copyright, so I think probably I got it in 2017 or 18. Probably on sale. And then this ribbon is also long retired, and I thought I had it. It's the one that's, this is actually olive green, and but the other side of it is Pretty Peacock. Did I put that away? I didn't think I did. Hang on, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Well, I thought I had it here, but I don't see it at the moment, so never mind. Anyway, I decided to put the old olive side up because you can still see some of the Pretty Peacock, and I wanted that shimmer because water is sort of shimmery usually, right? And then I did use some of the droplets, so these two things are bumped up, the rest is not, and that's just wrapped around both this piece. And this is on Orchid Oasis instead of Pretty Peacock. I don't know why, I just felt like it went okay. And then inside is just a piece of this same paper because I love the pattern. And that's it. Those are my 6 alternatives. Just regular A2 cards, nothing super fancy. So here are the 3 alternatives that are from the lily pad lotus flower one, and here's the one made as intended. And then sit that under here. And then these are the ones for the Forget-Me-Not. That's my favorite, I think, out of all of them. And this is my, this might be my second favorite, and this my third. And then this one is okay too. I like it too. So let me know what your favorite is down below. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Are you upset because I used the Lily Impressions paper? You know, you don't have to have that paper, but if you have something, any kind of paper that has, you know, like Stampin' Up does that a lot. On the back of their papers, it's sort of a plain sometimes, or a generic pattern. Use that. Find a color that matches and use that. There has to be some color that, or take a piece of white paper and use your inks and brush it and make your own background that would go with things, and then cut up the pieces. You know, just put a circle behind it, or a doily would be good, but I like the Orchid Oasis with the background paper. So anyway, that's it. Again, let me know what you think. And yeah, sorry I didn't get too much done for you this month, but it's just been crazy. And actually September is going to be worse because I'm doing live sales of my handmade jewelry every Saturday in September. So if you missed that live introduction on either of my 2 channels, this one or that one, today, earlier, please be sure to watch that. I posted it on Facebook and also Instagram, and also the X thing now that used to be Twitter. So I'm posting it everywhere I can, and I hope you can join me at least for part of the time. Next Saturday will be the first from 10 to 12 Eastern. And then every Saturday after that in September from 10 to 12 Eastern Daylight Time. So yeah, come join me. The 2 weeks in the middle have themed items. So this week is everyday kind of jewelry. The second week will be fall and Halloween. The third week will be Christmas and winter. And the last week will be everyday jewelry, but in memory of my mother, because it'll be her birthday, or would have been her birthday, her 96th actually. So anyway, that's it. That's what I have for you today. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your Labor Day weekend or your week ahead. And I don't know when I'll be back. I think the 10th. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be back on the 10th with 10 on the 10th Christmas cards or tags or whatever. Kim has expanded that one to include anything you want to make for Christmas. So I'll probably do cards. I haven't done the 10 on the 10th cards for a while. Okay, guys, take care. Hugs, love, and peace.